Oh, hi. I forgot you were here, to be honest. Been a couple weeks, years. I mean, that's all right. It's D&D. Not a whole lot can change, right? Well, shit.
How'd you get this?
Fucking hilarious.
Hey, welcome back. I'm the D&D GC, and today we're going to be talking about D&D. I've been running 5th edition for about 10 years now, and I gotta be honest, it feels like it might be time to move on. So here's the thing. 5th edition has been incredible at doing what it was designed to do. There's a reason it reigned king for so long. I mean, several reasons, but one of which was the design. It resolved a lot of needs. Needs like approachability, but like everything else, needs change. The ttrpg landscape has changed, and what we know about some of the companies behind our favorite games has unfortunately changed. So when do we? For some people, the answer was obvious months ago, and I don't blame them. I fully believe in being loud with your wallet. And I too came to the conclusion that I wasn't particularly interested in giving Hasbro any more of my money, but I kind of already wasn't. I'm a homebrewer. I haven't bought an official book from Wizards in years. I make my own terrain. I order custom 3D prints from independent artists. And any supplements I do buy are generally from content creators. So when it was just shitty business practices that I had a problem with, well, I didn't see the need to take any drastic action. With the new 2024 releases quickly approaching, I have to kind of make a few decisions, and I can't do it alone. I have home game currently going on 2 years, and there's a probability it'll go on for another 2. And some of these players don't live and breathe TTRPGs the same way I do. Learning a whole new system is not an exciting adventure, but more of a daunting task. Changing games could even feel like throwing away 2 years of work, which is something I absolutely don't want for them. So we're gonna walk through it, weigh the scales. We're gonna talk everything that needs to be considered when changing systems, and if it seems right to do, which system to change to. And more importantly, how to go about that change without destroying your home game or your friendships. Let's jump ship. All right, let's start with the easy list. What's working? What is it about 5e or the current system you're using that you absolutely don't want to lose or can't? Now, everyone's list is going to be different, but for me, the number one thing is genre. Like I said, I'm smack dab in the middle of a 2-year campaign, and as much as I am absolutely dying to play things like Kids on Bikes or Call of Cthulhu or Wanderhome, I'm not sure my 7th level paladin of the false god Simonway is going to translate real well into those worlds, regardless of my homebrewing abilities. I need a similar baseline that I can then adapt. Here, I'm going to let you guys in on a little secret. The fantasy genre is not my favorite, nor has it ever been. But it was the understood starting place, and it got the job done. You know, I can't imagine asking someone to come play a TTRPG like Dungeons and Dragons, and then having them sit down for a game of Blade Runner. Alright, next on the list, D20 system. It's something my players are used to, and it seems far easier to make adjustments into a different game with the same basic dice than it can, say, something like Blades in the Dark. And honestly, even if it wasn't that hard, a few of my players, self included, are dice goblins. All of a sudden saying, yeah, you know all those shiny nerd rocks you spent money on and love? We're gonna use a 7th of them. It probably wouldn't go over too well. Probably shouldn't be a high priority, but it is. I like my shiny nerd rocks. And that leads me into the last thing that I really need, is to maintain some of my investments. 10 years is a long time, and I have gathered and made some pretty cool shit. I need a system that has gridded combat in place, because I'm not throwing away all of my terrain. I'm not throwing away any of this. I'm not gonna do it. So those are my keeps. Now let's talk tosses. Let's get the big one out of the way. Fuck a corporation. Look, I know everything grows and everything sells out. I'm on board with you. I get it. But we all have to agree that there are levels to this. Yes, Critical Role is a corporation now. A business first. But Wizards of the Coast, they are not. And there are a lot of pure independent, one-man team, 100% fair practicing, independent TTRPG creators out there. But are they still going to be here in 10 years? I want something I can be proud to play, happy to give my money to, that is stable and funded enough to commit to, and has a community behind it, but doesn't feel like it's worried about having some ravenous market share. And finally, I want a little more variety and freedom for my players. I don't need feat trees that lead to billion character design options, or 1,000 defined actions to be declared that then all have their own separate standard way of resolving. But after a decade, the brilliant design of 5e that made it so accessible has gotten a little stale, even with the new 2024 stuff. So those are my parameters. And I'm guessing a lot of you have similar ones. And you can probably narrow down where I'm leaning. For a while there, we were tight-roping between MCDM and DC-20. And in the last 2 weeks, I think I've found my answer. For me personally, in my home game, I think DC-20 is the future. Now I'm absolutely still getting the MCDM game, and I will learn to run it and probably run it online, because Colville and his team are genius designers. And to be honest, he's one of the GOATs. If it weren't for his videos 8 years ago, I wouldn't be here today. But for me personally, I think the deciding factor was the story of the game. And not the lore, because I'm pretty sure neither of them have that yet, but everything that I've come to learn about the coach. If you don't know who he is, I highly suggest you go check out his work. His homebrew stuff for 5e is incredible, and everything he's doing now is, I mean, it's just superior game design. But more than that, the guy was a dad who decided to risk everything to chase his dream and turned it into a career. Connects with me. So yeah, I want to give that guy my money. Now I still have a couple conversations to have with my players, but I don't see anyone being too opposed to the idea. And so the question becomes how to make this transition. A slow roll, introduce a few mechanics at a time, slowly blend 5th edition with DC-20? Maybe. To be honest, I don't know. Mostly because, like I said, I got a bunch of 7th level characters, and 7th level doesn't even exist in DC-20 yet. So, just for that reason, I know it's not going to happen tomorrow. But that's okay. We got time. So that's where I'm at, and maybe you guys are considering the same. So let me know, are you still playing D&D 5e? Did you jump ship a long time ago? Are you considering it now? What are you thinking about moving on to? Or if you already have, how'd the switch over go? Alright, that's it. It's the end of the script, end of the video, short one. Thanks for watching. Do me a favor, if you liked it, hit the like, subscribe button, all the YouTube stuff. Look it, the next one is going to be back to world building. I have a killer setup to get you started running a campaign, if that's something you're interested in. Oh, and a little self promo. I'm running games on startplaying.games. So if you liked this video, or you went back and checked out any of the other ones and liked my, design philosophy, come on by, come play a game. All right, thanks for hanging out. As always, let's get to work.